Trying harder, doing better, and controlling more won't help you stay calm in the chaos. But something most people ignore will. So, you've decided you no longer want to push away your feelings. That's great. But now you have all of these feelings and you have no idea what to do with them because no one ever taught you what your feelings actually mean. Well, you'll find out in a few minutes. Right now, you're probably feeling on edge way more often than you'd like. And you might be calling it stress, right? Because that's what I used to do until I realized that stress is actually 5 different things all happening at the same time. I used to think there were only 4 emotions: happy, angry, scared, and sad, right? But then I got this huge eye-opener. Turns out there are way more emotions than most of us think. And that is where things start to change. Because if everything you feel gets labeled as stressed, you don't really know how to act upon it. But the moment you can actually name and call out what's going on, your brain will know how to respond. And that's when your body starts to calm down. So here's what this can look like in real life. You know those moments when you're working really hard on something important, but someone keeps interrupting you. That's exactly what happened to me the other day. I was working really hard on a deadline, but my daughter kept on calling me from the other room. And I was basically sure that she was being looked after, but she clearly still wanted my attention. So what happens in a situation like that? Your muscles tense up as you're struggling to stay focused, and I was getting more and more annoyed and frustrated by the minute. So I stopped because what I was doing wasn't working. And this is where the emotion wheel comes in really handy. I grabbed it and started listing all the different emotions I was feeling in that moment. And something clicked. Suddenly, I wasn't just feeling stressed anymore. I was overwhelmed, frustrated, desperate, annoyed, but also worried. Here's the thing. Saying you feel stressed is easy, but saying what you're actually feeling is much more effective in dealing with stress. Even just acknowledging what's really there already takes away a big chunk of the tension in your body because your nervous system feels heard. So now let's get to the part that no one really explains: what your feelings actually mean. Every emotion points to something specific. Fear usually means that something is uncertain, and so your nervous system wants you to prepare in order for you to be safe. Anger shows up when something isn't right, and so your nervous system wants you to protect something or someone you love, or it wants you to fix it and make it right. Sadness, that's your system telling you to slow down and process. Guilt, it's your nervous system asking you to take responsibility for something, to restore your place in the community so that you will be safe again. These aren't just random feelings. These are signals telling you what matters to you and what needs your attention. Emotions show you what you value, often way before your brain even picks up on your need. So here's the next step in how you stay calm in the chaos. You start checking what your feelings are trying to communicate. So in that moment, I noticed something. Frustration pointed to something I valued. I wanted to meet my deadline. Why? Because to me, it's important to stick to my word. The worry also pointed to something else I cared about: my daughter's safety. Both things mattered. There wasn't one wrong and one right. The stress came, though, from the fact that I wasn't making a decision, from not choosing, but trying to override it and push through. You might recognize this pattern in your own life. So instead of staying stuck in stress, it's really helpful to make a clear decision. In my case, I decided to take a short break to check on my daughter quickly, make sure she's okay. She was doing fine. And then I went back to work, but this time with headphones on so that I wouldn't get distracted a second time. Same situation, but now I was calm, I was focused, and everything was clear. And both values were honored. I finished everything on time and my daughter was safe. So what can you do the next time that you feel tension build up in your body? Here are a few things that really help. First of all, the moment you feel the tension build up in your body, try to stop with whatever you're doing. And then take these 3 steps. First, identify what you're actually feeling. I will link the emotion wheel down below. Second, ask yourself the question: what are my feelings trying to achieve here? What actually matters to me right now? And what values of mine are not being met? And then the third step is to make one clear choice, to act on what truly matters to you. If you write down the first 2 points, it'll be a lot easier for you to make that clear choice. So I would say start today, and you will notice that you will be able to stay calm in situations that used to overwhelm you. Next episode, we'll learn more about regulating your emotions in a very practical way. So don't forget to subscribe if you would like to learn more about that, and I'll see you in the next one.